Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming back again to Credible Christianity. We have been dealing with the Atonement. This is part 6, I believe, of the Atonement. In part 5, we was talking about Saint Anselm. Saint Anselm, who I believe lived in the year 1083, something like that. And how he believed in penal substitution. Penal substitution, which what really is paying the price or the penalty for the sake of sins. Jesus Christ paying that penalty for us. Okay, and that was in between 1083 and 1105, something like that. Now, who we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about this other guy. His name is Hugo Grotius, or some people call him Grotius, Grotius. Hugo Grotius. He lived between the year 1583 and 1645. 1583 and 1645. Grotius was a Dutchman. He was a jurist. That's spelled Jurist. He was a jurist, and what that is a person who is an expert in writing the law. Okay, a person who is an expert in writing the law. And he also was a lawyer, as well as being a strong defender of penal substitution. Okay, a strong defender on penal substitution, which means that Jesus Christ paid a penalty for our sins. This is all what the atonement is, y'all. Okay, so let's just kind of delve into this a little bit and kind of open up our understanding. You know what? Normally when I come and I do these short videos, I pray before I do it, because I don't know who it's going to reach, but I know it's going to help somebody. Okay, you just don't know how far it's going, but I know it's going to help somebody. All right, so this guy, Grotius, they got some funny names. Hugo Grotius, he wrote a treatise on the defense of the Catholic faith. Now, when I say Catholic faith, I'm not talking about Catholic faith far as the Catholic as we know today. At that time, if you were a Catholic, you just was a Christian. Okay? It wasn't like how we look at Catholics now. Okay, Catholic back then basically means, the word Catholic means universal, and so when you talk about the Catholic faith at that time, you're just talking about Christianity, a Christian. Okay, it wasn't like all the different denominations like we have now. So he wrote his letter, his treatise in the defense of the Catholic faith, dealing with the satisfaction of Christ against this guy called Fastos Sassinos. I know they got these names. I'm trying to pronounce their names too. Fastos Sassinos. So he wrote this treatise, or a defense letter, against this guy, Sassinos. Sassinos was a theologian. He was a Unitarian theologian, and he attacked the Reformers' doctrine on the atonement. So now, Grotius, who wants to defend this, there's dispute. Without giving you all the history, because I don't know all the history, but I know enough. Let me give you some of it. You have people in politics, like it was back then, who Grotius was a writer of the law, expert lawman, writing this law. Well, he was just a writer of the law. But as time went on, word got back to him about these reformers, church reformers, and their doctrines. And they wanted him to say something about it, or write something about it, or come up with a law. And at that time, it was a strong attack between the Calvinists and the Arminians, right? The Calvinists and the Arminians. And I don't have time to get into all that right now. But the temperature between these two groups, Calvinists and Arminians, got so heated that they had to bring somebody in to kind of break the ice. And that was Hugo Grotius. Well, he broke the ice. He started to study on what these reformers was teaching and what their doctrines was. And he began to believe that there was more truth to the atonement, or the penal substitution, or the penalty for sin on the Arminian side, that he began to believe it to the point now he's writing letters and treaties. So he began to write these treaties and letters in favor of the penalty for sin, or the penal substitutions. As he's writing, the anger between the Calvinists and other people, the prince at that time, just rose higher and higher, to the point where they couldn't accept Grotius' defense. He gets locked up, thrown into prison, and there he began to sit down and write and get his mind together on what he believed about these Christians and the penal substitution, the penalty for sin argument. So he's sitting in jail, and he's thinking, and he's writing. And I believe God began to help this man with understanding of his word as well. So it's amazing how God will help you in your time of imprisonment, which he was in. But I don't want to get into the full discussion of it right now. We will complete this at the next video, but I want to just to leave you there that he's in prison. Hugo Grotius is in prison. He began to believe what the reformers at this time were saying and what they were teaching about this doctrine of penal substitution. And now he's about to make some leeway, and about to make some leeway, and about to kind of let the people know where his heart fully is at. So what we'll do, we'll continue this next week, tomorrow on our next lesson with Hugo Grotius on the Atonement. I hope this has been just enough to whet your appetite, and we'll finish it tomorrow. God bless you. Thank you for coming up.